Good evening. I'm sitting here making the schedule for the week and looking at next week. I go on vacation this weekend, so I leave on Saturday with Peyton. We're going to be out of town for a week, so I leave Saturday. I won't get back until the following Saturday, which really I probably won't be back into swing of things until that Sunday. To jump right in with what our schedule looks like, this weekend we only have one sale. That's at 204 Lakeshire Drive. It's a really quick sale. The realtor kind of called us at the last minute. I just got the keys last week. Shayna's already been there working on that, and it's pretty much done after one day. So not much more to do there, and that's the only sale this week. Next weekend, however, we have two sales. One is at 134 North 27th Street. Jenny and I were there all day today getting the garbage out of the house because the photographs are coming. The photographer's coming tomorrow to photograph the house. Then we can start setting up that house. Then we have another house at 246 Westchester Way. Westchester Way is off of Gethings at the other end from where I live, though. So close to my house. It's a very big house. It's a very nice house. So we want to do a really good job. So this week, we are going to be working at all three of those locations. And then next week, we're going to start a really big job in Kalamazoo on Edgemoor. And then I'm waiting for the son to tell me he's done over on B Drive. And we're going to be starting that, which is another huge job. So I anticipate we'll be able to start the B Drive house sometime next week while I'm gone on vacation. But I don't know that for a fact. I'm going to call them tomorrow, touch base, and kind of go from there. So a couple quick things that happened this weekend. We had a pretty confrontational, heated argument with someone on first thing on Saturday morning. It started off with them asking where certain items were. So without getting into that long, drawn-out, ridiculous story, I'll just say this, that Yoey and Shayna handled it really well. Probably, obviously, there's always room for improvement. But they did handle it really well. All the feedback I got from the customers was like, thank God Yoey was there because that guy was being a jerk to Shayna. Yeah, we did good. But anyway, it was about where things were in a sale, in a house. So I want to kind of get back to our roots as to how we used to photograph houses, which is we photograph a room. And so if that room needs to be photographed from 2 separate angles or maybe even 3 angles to capture what that room looks like, I want to photograph the entire room. And then like if we use my living room as an example right now, then I photograph where my TV is and my fireplace is as like one unit. And if I think something on that is really valuable or something we'll like, let's say like my glass rooster that's sitting there, then that gets an individual picture. So we'd start with getting a couple angle shots of the room. We would drill it down to like one wall or one piece of furniture. And then if there's an item on there, drill it down even more. And we keep those pictures kind of in order so that people know, oh, that's the room that they're in. That's the master bedroom, or that's the dining room, or that's the garage. Then it kind of minimizes that, where's this at, Melissa? I can't find it. And then I'm like, oh, crap, I don't even know. Let me see the picture because then I can see what room it's in. So let's just try. I know there's like a few of us that are taking pictures, so let's try to all do it the same, which is starting off with a couple angle shots of that room and then make those pictures more specific. I call it the zoom approach. So imagine seeing the big picture and then zooming right down to individual items if you need be. And there might be a couple pictures in between that. So that was one thing. Another thing is we started to deal with snow. So this time of year when it starts snowing, things become really icy. So Sherry got stuck. That was frustrating. People worked outside this weekend. That was frustrating because it was cold. But overall, I think the weekend went really smooth. And I do appreciate everyone's effort dealing with the bad weather. Another thing I want to touch on is the per diem, because the per diem doesn't come up very much. But we are going to book more sales in Kalamazoo. And with that sale we just had in Plainwell, that all falls into it. So the per diem is $20. So instead of me saying, okay, you live farther than so-and-so, or this is a different direction from my house than it is from yours. Like, to get rid of all of that kind of verbiage back and forth. Last year, if you remember, we went to a straight per diem rate, which is just $20 a day. What that does is that covers the time for you to get to and from a sale that might be out of the ordinary distance. So, for example, anyone who worked in Plainwell last week, you were able to charge me the $20 a day that you worked in Plainwell. So if you guys carpool, you know, it's probably only fair that maybe that one person is giving the person driving an extra $5 for gas money or something like that. I don't know how you guys work it out. I know you always do, though, between yourselves. So I'll stay out of that whole topic, but that's the per diem. So what that means is you don't clock in until you actually get to the location and start working. Now remember, if you're scheduled to work at 9 and you choose to show up at 8:30, that does not mean you clock in at 8:30. That means that you clock in at 9. If you choose to show up to a sale at 7:30, even though you have been told to show up at 8 or 8:30, that does not mean you can clock in at 7:30. So we need to make sure that we're clocking in appropriately. That also means that if you're trying to get paid out on a Saturday, but you know you're picking up the signs, I'm good with you estimating, hey, it's going to take us 10 minutes to pick up those signs. So add 10 minutes onto your time when you clock out, so that gives you time to go pick up those signs. I'm not asking anyone to do things, you know, for free. We all want to be compensated for our troubles. So if you're the one picking up the signs, you know, add a few minutes to your time card when you're clocking out so that you can get paid for that time as well. I think that covers everything. Like I said, I'm going to be gone starting on Saturday. I'm going to be in Mexico, so I don't know how my self-service will be or any of that. So if you guys need anything, obviously Shayna's going to be here. Yoey's going to be around. Of course, Justin's going to be here as well. So those are your go-to people with questions or concerns. Shayna's going to be running the sale on Lakeshire this weekend, and it's just one sale, so I anticipate this week to go pretty smooth. Happy Sunday. Talk to you guys soon.